How you doing? I wasn't going to put out a video today because I thought there's not a lot going on, but I've turned up at the shed and I thought I can have a cup of tea at least. The cat's food finally arrived. I know some of you were wanting an update. I stayed in for Saturday and it said on the app we tried to deliver it. No, it said on the app we have delivered it at 6:34. And I thought, well, I'm in. So I knocked on a few neighbours. I even went to some other streets that have a similar sounding name to my street and couldn't find it. So I put a complaint in to get a refund, and then the next night at 6:34 there was a knock at the door and he was there with my stuff. So I think he'd probably got to the point where he thought, I've had enough, I'm out in the rain, I'm going to go home. So we have finally got the cat food and it was on special offer, so I have enough now to see me through till the end of the year. Oh, this kettle, a watched kettle never boils quickly, does it? So yes, not a lot going on. Everything feels quite quiet. We've had nothing but rain over the last few days and I've just turned up now basically to check on the roof and everything's fine. It's still in place, there's no water coming in and everything's dandy. I was thinking about my daffodil bulbs. Many years ago when I had a large set of bulbs like I've got now, daffodils, tulips, hyacinths, I put them into pots and I grew them on in pots, and then in the spring I put them out into the open ground. And I'm thinking I might do the same with these, because depending on where the greenhouse goes, there may be a bed in front of the greenhouse, but I don't want to make the bed before the greenhouse. I want to wait for the greenhouse to come, then make the bed. So there's a possibility that I might put them all into pots, because I do like to know the varieties of things. But this weekend I have spent my time trying to set up this live streaming camera so we can see the Rusty homestead 24/7. So I got all the equipment together, connected it, the camera works, I can see the picture, but there's one piece of software that I need in order to upload it to YouTube. So I spent all weekend trying to find it and I couldn't. I went to a friend's computer, tried on there for a few hours, couldn't find it. So this morning I managed to find a phone number. So I phoned them, I said, I'm trying to find this vital piece of software and if you haven't got it I may as well send it back to you. And they said, we do not give advice to domestic customers. We can only advise you if you are a business. Go to the place where you bought it and they will advise you. I said, well, Amazon, so I'm not going to get any joy there. And then he just said, oh, but our website's been down, so you're not the first person to phone. So I spent all weekend trying to fix something when there was no way it could be fixed. So I'm hoping that they'll fix their computers in the next day or two and I can get this piece of software. Now this week my shed is due to turn up on Thursday, but like I told you last week, it was due on a Monday. Then they said, oh no, could be Tuesday, Wednesday. Then it could be Wednesday, Thursday. I woke up this morning, what does the email say? Now we're coming on Friday. So I've responded and I've said, if it doesn't turn up Friday, you can keep it and I'll have the money back. If I had to take a day off work, that means I would have had a week off trying to wait for a shed, which they kept changing the goalposts of. But it's been a very relaxed weekend. I had a Sunday lunch yesterday and I used the chicken that I got from the Newt of Somerset, that box. And I must say, I will have to explore how much it cost. But the taste of this chicken was absolutely beautiful. And I'm tempted to get some more. but I can't remember how much it was. So I might investigate buying a job lot of it and putting it into the freezer. But the taste of it was stunning. I could feel the goodness as I was chomping down the chicken. Oh, this cup of tea is taking a while. So apparently there's another rainstorm coming at some point today. According to my app, it's due in about an hour and a half. So I won't be down here for too long. So it helps if I put the gas on. Now the plan was just to sit in the shed and relax a bit, but I just went on my phone, and the website where I haven't been able to get hold of the piece of software, I've just noticed they fixed the website. So I might down this really quickly, go home and see if I can get this camera working. It's very rare that I leave a cup of tea, but today something more important is on the cards. Just before I do rush off though, just have a look at the Acer. It's now starting to put on its autumnal colours. And beautiful to see it is too. We are currently having an almighty downpour of rain. 20 to 9. I've just had my dinner. A bit of gammon steak, potatoes and peas. Surprising how much mess it makes. Now I've spent all evening trying to get this camera sorted for doing this live streaming on the homestead, and it's still not working, and it's actually taking up too much of my time now. It's pulling me away from other things, so I'm going to have to knock it on the head till the weekend, I think, because there's too much other things that I need to get on with, such as turn the microphone on. Is that better? You can hear me now. So yes, I will have to just put it on hold now for a few days and get on with some other things, such as I need to fill my what you call it, liquid. Let me get the one from the bathroom as well, because I think that one's about to finish as well. It's like everything finishes at the same time, doesn't it? Now, what is this? Wild rhubarb and lemon. I had delivered today a spray. I think it was called Febreze. And because after the cleaner came last week, the house smelt beautiful, and I thought that's what I need, something that'll give a little of scent. So I bought one and it turned up, and what I'd actually done was to buy the refills, but I haven't got the device, so I've had to put another order in, which is due to turn up tomorrow. But the cleaner's coming tomorrow, so the house will soon smell fresh again. There we go. I can't remember where I bought this now, but I bought it when I moved in, and it's lasted all this time. Right, are you making plans for Christmas yet? I've already made my plans. Now, what we usually do for the new ones here is every Christmas morning at about 11 o'clock, we usually have a little half an hour live video where we just welcome in Christmas Day, and so far we will still be doing that this year. And then on Christmas afternoon, I usually then release a video where I look back on the previous year. But to be honest, I've done so much, I'm not quite sure how to put that video together, because it would be going on until New Year's Eve. So I might just do like a highlight reel of some of my best walks and a highlight of getting the house together. There you go. I saw on the weather forecast today that apparently it's going to get a lot colder over the next few days. But it is October. I asked somebody today, what about November the 5th? Are there any bonfire events? But they didn't know anything. So when I lived here the first time round, there were quite a few streets would get together and have a bonfire. We used to have one in our garden, and it used to be about 30 foot tall. It was huge, and people used to collect the wood for the weeks leading up to it. And this is why I'm a bit on edge about my shed. My shed is due 2 days before. No, not my shed, my greenhouse. I'm having it delivered to the homestead because I don't want it delivered to the house. So I'm a bit on edge that I'm going to miss the delivery. I don't want kids walking past and going, oh look, this geezer's been throwing out a bit of wood. We'll have this for the bonfire. And then I go down the road the next day and my greenhouse is burning away. Oh, that's all it is in life, isn't it? Cooking and cleaning. Talking about cleaning, I was talking to somebody in the men's sheds today about my dilemma of trying to get my clothes dry. I mentioned that I was thinking about getting this device where you put the clothes in and you zip up the side and then it warms the clothes. And it turns out that he's got exactly the one that I want to buy. And he said they were fantastic. So that has convinced me to go ahead and get one. Oh, I hope I haven't got a cold coming. So that means having to rearrange one of the rooms upstairs. The room where I've got my clothes in. So that's a task to put down. To get down on the list. Yeah, so I'm a bit disappointed that this webcam hasn't worked. Because I actually want to crack on now and do the plot. But I don't want to do it until the camera is set up. And plus the shed's not coming until Friday. Well, at the moment it's Friday. Who knows, I might wake up tomorrow and they'll say it's coming in a week's time. Which if that happens, then I will be demanding my money back. But yes, we're having terrible rainstorms at the moment. It was a nice morning this morning, But they did say from 6 o'clock that the rain was going to come, and they were right. I've also come up with an idea. Now, if you've been tuned in for a while, you will know that that room I've got downstairs, which used to be sort of the library bit, it seems to have turned into a place where I just throw my boxes. So I'm having to think of how I can use it to the best of its ability. I also think there's a problem with the radiator, because even when I switched it off, it was still quite hot there. Oh, and this electric fire that I've had ever since I moved in, I found out today that it's got a feature that if you don't turn it up too high, and that's what I've been doing, I've been putting it on full blast. If you just about put it on number 2 or something, it will warm the room up and then just stop when it gets to, so if you set it at 23, once it gets to 23 it just stops. And then when the temperature dips, it comes back on again. And I've had it all this time, and I've only just discovered this. This is what happens when you don't bother to read the instructions, I would imagine. Right, I'm going to do these now, have a cup of tea, and then have an early night. Because it is nice to wake up to a clean kitchen. But sometimes, some of the greatest pleasures are had by just having a little potch around the old cottage. Well, the cats have started coming downstairs as well, which may not seem a big deal, but if you imagine, they've been up there for 6 weeks and they haven't come down, and they've started going back out into the garden as well over the last 24 hours. In fact, Amber prefers to go into the garden to have a pup and a pee and then come back in, which is good. So it's certainly developed a lot of soap suds. Now, I'm not going to do it now because I'm probably going to leave these soak, but what I would usually do is, once all this is dry, I will then sink everything back into cold water just to make sure that the suds come off. Yeah, so if I get this dryer for my clothes, that means then I can continue to wash my clothes during the winter. I don't have to put the heating on full blast or wait until the sun comes out, which is going to be few and far. I was just about to wash them again, which will be few and far between now. But I think that it's going to be a cold winter, but it'll be a short one. Just feel it in me water. Right, one more now, and then I think we're finished. I'm going to have a spring clean soon, because the cupboards here are really full. I just want to go through everything and just rearrange things a bit better. It's only been in the last few weeks that I actually feel as if I'm starting to live in the house, if that makes any sense. I've been so busy trying to set the house up, haven't had much time just to sit and enjoy it. But now the routine is sort of set. Right, anything more I could do with this scrub? And then, before I go to bed, I've got to go around the house and just sort things out. Do you do this? If you have somebody in to help with the cleaning, do you go around the house before they turn up just sort, you know, just take stuff off the table or put things away. Try and make it as easy as you can for them, because you don't want to waste your hour or two with them, you know, taking things off in order to clean and then to put them back on again. Right, I'm gonna have a cup of tea and have a sit down. So thanks for joining me, and I'll catch up with you in a few days, where hopefully might have a bit of better news regarding that camera. Oh, I may as well have a cup of tea while I'm here. I must say, just very briefly, having a cup of tea with Icelandic water is an experience. When I drink my tea now, I can feel it going through my body and giving me a bit of energy. Right, I'll catch up with you next time. So from me till then, bye for now.